Foreign fighters in Syria. A dilemma and a solution. Can the new leadership pass Trump's test? Former U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement of lifting sanctions on Syria came with 5 conditions. Most notably, the demand for the departure of all foreign fighters from Syrian territory. This requirement poses a major challenge for Syria's new administration, led by President Ahmad al-Shar, given the long-standing role and loyalty of these fighters, particularly to Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, al-HTS, during the years leading up to the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime. Since the early days of the Syrian Revolution and the formation of the Free Syrian Army, foreign fighters, from Arab and non-Arab countries alike, began streaming into Syria. The Turkish border became a dual passageway, for Syrians fleeing the war and for hundreds of foreign combatants heading into battle. Initially, they joined loosely organized, non-ideological factions. Between 2012 and 2014, as aerial bombardments intensified on opposition-held neighborhoods, these foreign fighters gained a positive reputation in the so-called revolution strongholds, especially in northern Syria. Their fierce resistance against Assad's forces and involvement in high-risk operations, including suicide missions and deep infiltration assaults, earned them the popular title al-Muhajireen, the migrants. Following the fall of Assad's regime on December 8th, foreign-dominated groups like the Turkistan Islamic Party, Ajnad al-Sham, Chechens, and Ajnad al-Qawqaz became essential components of HTS's Central Military Operations Room. In his first remarks on the issue, President al-Shar stated that those who helped topple Assad deserve to be rewarded. In a January press meeting, he even hinted at the possibility of granting them Syrian citizenship, a comment that sparked heated national debate. However, just one day after al-Shar's meeting with Trump in Riyadh, Syrian local media reported that security forces had raided several foreign fighter facilities in Idlib. Although Bashar al-Assad could not independently confirm the reports, whether genuine or symbolic, the raid sent a clear political message. Not a call for mass expulsion. Analysts argue that Trump's conditions are often misunderstood. The U.S. and its allies are not demanding wholesale deportation of foreign fighters, but rather 2 key points. They must not hold significant positions in the emerging state, particularly in the army, intelligence, or government. And Syria must not become a launching pad for foreign military operations, training camps, or attacks. According to leaks obtained by political analyst Mazen Jesmati, Syrian officials have agreed to halt the appointment of non-Syrians moving forward. However, addressing those already in high-ranking posts remains a delicate issue. These foreign factions are not ideologically uniform. Their reasons for entering Syria varied. Some were recruited online and smuggled in systematically, while others arrived independently, funding their own journeys via Turkey. By mid-2013, as factionalism grew, many foreign fighters gravitated toward jihadist groups such as Jabhat al-Nusra, while a minority joined more moderate outfits like Liwa al-Tawhid in Aleppo. Internal splits and factional realignments. As ideological disputes and power struggles intensified, many Muhajireen splintered from larger groups. Notably, Jabhat al-Nusra, initially affiliated with ISIS, broke away after leader Ahmad al-Shar refused to pledge allegiance to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, instead aligning with al-Qaeda's Ayman al-Zawahiri. This prompted a wave of defections as some fighters joined ISIS, rejecting Zawahiri's leadership, while others formed new groups like Jund al-Aqsa, led by the Palestinian-Iraqi Abu Abdulaziz al-Qadari, or nationality-based factions like the Uyghurs, Uzbeks, and Chechens. Following ISIS's rapid territorial expansion in mid-2014 across western Iraq and northeastern Syria, including Deir ez-Zor, Raqqa, and parts of Aleppo and Idlib, tensions escalated between ISIS and other foreign-led groups. Many of these factions maintained ties with Jabhat al-Nusra, opting for neutrality in inter-rebel conflicts, rather than taking sides in what became known as brotherly infighting. Among the key groups that persisted until Assad's fall were the Turkistan Islamic Party, Ajnad al-Sham, Ajnad al-Qawqaz, Ansar al-Tawhid, and remnants of Jund al-Aqsa, many of whom later joined or allied with HTS in military operations that eventually led to the capture of Damascus. The Syrianization of the conflict. Between 2014 and 2018, HTS began systematically sidelining foreign fighters, removing them from leadership roles and limiting their media presence. Many were arrested, particularly members of Huras al-Din, or expelled for resisting internal reforms led by Abu Muhammad al-Jalani, Ahmad al-Shar. Over time, foreign fighters were seen as a liability both internally, as local Syrians grew resentful of their influence, and externally, especially with Turkey, due to their ideological rigidity and rejection of any cooperation with NATO member forces. President al-Shar began weeding out extremists within HTS, shifting its rhetoric from transnational jihad to a locally grounded Syrian revolution. He frequently invoked slogans like Thawrat al-Sham, the Levantine People's Revolution, emphasizing national identity over global jihad. Many foreign fighters ultimately aligned with al-Shar's new nationalist vision, acknowledging Syria as the priority and describing themselves as mere supporters, Ansar, of a Syrian-led cause. Al-Shar concurrently launched efforts to integrate these fighters into a localized political strategy, distancing them from any activities beyond Syrian borders. Now, with al-Shar as president, the question remains, can he continue this delicate balancing act, merging domestic reforms with international demands, while preserving the internal legitimacy needed to govern?